Why copying other auto repair businesses doesn't work and what to do instead. I'm Dean from the Workshop Whisperer. This is the original Workshop Whisperer herself, Rachel Evans. And this is sunrise just coming up over the houses behind us. Rach, tell me, why is copying other shops around you the wrong approach to take?
Well, this one is actually pretty simple, and it all comes down to, while you might see other shops in your area that always look like they've got a full shop, they've got heaps of techs, or their car park's always full, what you aren't seeing is their costs of doing business. It's the number one reason why you can't just go and copy what you think another shop is doing. So you might see them advertising on social media. You might have gone and looked at their website and they're running some kind of deal on a service for certain size vehicles. You might even be trying to compete with something that your local dealership is doing. And the reason that you can't do it straight off the bat is because you have likely got different operating costs to what they do. It's something that the industry has practiced though for decades, and it's probably one of the number one reasons or handful of reasons why when auto repair shop owners come to us at the Workshop Whisperer for help, just copying what's going on in your area, trying not to be what you think is more expensive than anyone else, is actually sending you broke. Don't worry about what's going on at the other shop. They're probably already only just at break even or losing money because they're not looking at their actual numbers either.
The stats around this are quite astounding, aren't they? Where in the first 2 years of business, 80% of auto repair businesses are broke or at break even, and 5 years in, it's 50%. So the chances are that even if you were trying to copy competition in your area, the probability is that they are not financially profitable.
Correct.
Operating costs have blown out above what their intake is, and they're actually digging themselves into a pretty big hole, right?
That's right. So all you're copying is the financial distress of the business down the road or several businesses in your area. So what do you do instead? You get stuck into your numbers and you work out the gross profit margin that you need on every single job. We already know what it is. You need between 58 and 62% gross profit margin on every job that you do on average in order to have enough money to run the operating expenses part of your business so that you stand a chance to have what you need on the net profit line on the profit and loss. So that should be, your own numbers should be the only thing that determines how you price.
The old adage of if you compete on price, it's a race to the bottom, and that's not the race you want to win. We talk price a lot inside the engine room. Almost every auto repair shop owner that's ever joined raises labour rates, improves their pricing or margin. We hear the same thing from every person every time, which is, but if I do that, I'll lose customers. You've been in this space for 12 years. What's the reality? What have you actually seen that happens? On average, how many customers would an auto repair business lose when they actually start pricing according to the GP they require, skill set they have, complexity of jobs that they do? What do you actually see that happens?
Well, they initially express fear, as you've mentioned, but because we have so many successful examples encouraging them to do it inside the engine room, they give it a go and then they come back 1 or 2 months later and they say, no one has even raised it with us. And that's because you don't just go and whack $50 an hour on top of your labour rate. You look at what is a feasible and sustainable increase, and you do that a couple of times over the financial year. And then it becomes a practice for you to review your labour rate every 6 months moving forward. So we're talking about pure profit gains when we increase our labour rate to where it should have been all along. So this isn't you making a huge grab for cash and being greedy or unethical. This is literally raising your labour rate to where it needs to be because it is the profit lifeblood of your business.
And the single biggest competitive advantage you will ever have in an auto repair business is to run a profitable shop. Because when your competitors around you go broke, and they will, well, their customers are going to need somewhere to go as well. So no more competing on price.
No more copying.
No more copying. No more deciding, oh, I can't charge that because the bloke down the road is $20 cheaper. It's okay to compete, to keep your competitors busy with the customers you don't want. You need to know what the operating costs are for your auto repair business. You need to know what your break even is. You need to charge accordingly to make a profit, because that's what allows you to stay in business for the long run. And it really is the money that you're going to need for you and your family's future. So no more competing with the shop down the street. That ends today. And we'll see you on the next episode of Talking Shop.
See you later.